Hey, we are two Star Wars nerds, and we're going to be talking about Princess Leia in Return of the Jedi today. So excited about this. So buckle up and get ready. All right, so Princess Leia, undoubtedly one of the coolest characters in Star Wars.
For sure.
How could you not like Princess Leia?
For sure.
Seriously. But we're going to be specifically talking about Return of the Jedi. There's a lot of cool stuff. We're not going to hit everything in chronological order, but why don't we start maybe with our favorite scenes, and then we'll kind of just keep deep diving from there. And a disclaimer too, for those of you watching, please let us know in the comments as you watch what your favorite parts of this are. So let's kick it off.
Yeah, there's a lot to Princess Leia, especially in this movie, and like I've said about her in our New Hope video and Empire, as a little girl, I looked up to her. I still do. I think Princess Leia is an amazing role model, and you just get to see even more of that good role model in Return of the Jedi, and you get to see her develop more as a character. You get to see her relationships develop, and you really get to see her kind of come into her own. But I think my favorite scene in Return of the Jedi, and one of the reasons I love Leia, because it just wraps her up in who she is so perfectly. But at the end, when they're on Endor.
Force Moon of
Endor, yeah.
Close enough.
But she gets shot in the arm, and then
it's Sandoval.
She gets shot in the arm or hand. She gets shot, so either way, it doesn't matter where. But then Han's kind of staying in front of her, and they kind of play this little thing, and then she shoots the stormtrooper. But I'm just thinking she just got shot, yet she's playing it cool, and then takes out this stormtrooper. So I was as a little girl, and even now every time I watch that, I'm she's so awesome. I feel like if I got shot, I'd be crying or having a normal reaction, not just I love you.
Mm-hmm.
That's just so cool. It's so BA. But it just shows that she's a strong character. She can take care of herself. She can take care of those around her. But she's also willing to work with those around her. I also really love just seeing her interact with the Ewoks, because I love the Ewoks. I know some people don't, but then you get to kind of see this mothering nature that she has. There's just so, and I don't want to speak on your favorites. I'll talk about them after, so I'll pass it back to you, because I have stuff to say on your scenes too.
All right. No, I think your favorite scene is really cool. Isn't it two stormtroopers too? She's bam, bam. She gets. I love the look and the exchange there, and just how she's just yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm bleeding.
And the whole thing is she understands what's at stake, and she's until I don't have breath in my lungs, I'm gonna fight.
Yeah.
Super cool. My favorite scene, I don't know if it's scenes, it's a self-contained little arc, I guess, in the beginning of the film. But I love how she is under the guise of a bounty hunter to save Han, And so, I'm gonna really try not to go into Luke, but there's all the cool stuff with Luke in this, and R2, and just everything's so cool.
Right.
But with Leia, I can even hear the rock two. That's terrible, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But I can hear it when she has a thermal detonator and she threatens Jabba. Just that alone, she threatens him, and not many bounty hunters do that. And he's one of the most feared gangsters in all of the galaxy, and she's just no, I'll take you out. She's for real. She's I want you. She's you're not calling my bluff. I will literally kill you if I have to. So I think that's super cool. And then obviously when she gets Han and they reunite, and then she gets kidnapped, and she's turned into slave Leia, and all of this. It kind of continues into one of my favorite scenes, because I love how she ends up killing Jabba. It's so crazy. To think about, even when she's wearing, the slave outfit or whatever, and she's objectified, and who knows what nasty Jabba's, doing all this. But then when she sees that moment, she whips the chain around him and choking him out, that's crazy. What a way for him to go down. You would think so many other ways, but instead, this woman that he kidnapped and forced in slavery, even for a short time, and chained her to himself, basically.
Yeah,
and then
she
chokes him, just boom, just like that. I think it's so cool because it just shows just how ruthless she is, and she's like not someone to mess with. She's not just like the damsel in distress. Like no, she's out there killing gangsters, like pretty wild.
And that whole scene, even when she's chained up, she's just kind of like rolling her eyes. She's not amused. She's not afraid. That she just has this strength about her, and that you see throughout all of the movies, all three of them, but especially in that scene, like she's literally changed. She has pretty much nothing, and she's not having Jabba. Like, just he's supposed to be this feared gangster, and she's not afraid of him. And then you see her take her opportunity, and that it's awesome. She's like, all right, here's my chance, and throws the chains around him, and she kills Princess Leia with nothing, pretty much literally, and on her body takes out this crazy crime gangster. Like no one else did that. Like Princess Leia did that with no weapon. Like that's awesome.
I almost just feel like randomly shows the time for like, what the heck? We just need that.
Yes.
But it's so crazy to go from those extremes to two more things that we'll cover in this. The first we can do briefly, but with her and the Ewoks, I know your take on it has been fairly interesting. I thought it was maybe kind of inconsequential, like just kind of fun, whatever. But I've always enjoyed your perspective of her and the Ewoks. Would you like to share? You can just say yes. I know you liked it.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about it, earlier on, but I like her with the Ewoks because you see, because throughout the three movies, you're seeing her as an independent woman. You're seeing her taking care of herself. You're seeing her develop relationships, take care of her friends. But then when the Ewoks come in, you kind of see this motherly aspect come into her, which is in her, and then this is just an opportunity for it to come out. So you get to see almost the softer side of Leia, and you get to see how well-rounded she is and her motherly instincts. And I love her. I love her interactions with the Ewoks, and just how she kind of connects to them, and it always makes me laugh. Like they're back and forth, and then how they later on they're trying to like eat. I think. Oh yeah,
they're gonna cook and eat them.
I mean, they were trying to kill him for sure, but I'm like, I don't.
Sure.
Like they're trying to eat, Han and Luke, but Leia, they give her a nice dress. I'm not really sure why. I've heard some things that could be weird about that, but I'm gonna stay ignorant. But they just, give her a dress. They take good care of her. They have these back and forth, but you'll see her kind of taking care of them too. So I like that aspect.
Yeah, they were gonna cook those boys up. Straight up. They probably lived off Stormtrooper. They had to have. But this isn't about the Ewoks. This is about Leia.
We need an Ewok video.
Yeah, we'll do Life and Lore of the Ewoks.
Yes.
They're brutal, man.
For real.
They're freaky. So then the last thing we'll cover, and there's so much we're not covering about Leia, but that's why you in the comments got to let us know. But the last thing, and maybe this whole scene deserves its own breakdown, but when Luke and Leia are talking, and it's revealed,
big reveal.
Finally, the dude you've been macking with is your brother. And they just like, yeah, okay, they just move on.
We won't ever talk about that.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. But I mean, when you see her in A New Hope, and then you realize, oh man, like her and her dad, and even that relationship, and then Empire Strikes Back, and her and Luke, and especially at the end, right? Not them kissing necessarily, but like them at the end.
They're close.
On Bespin Cloud City, when she hears him through the Force, and then to go into Return of the Jedi, and really how she picks up a speeder bike, and she's just instantly good on it, and she has great reflexes. The whole your favorite scene, how she can do that so well.
She's good with a gun, but we've seen that.
Yeah,
this is the first time we've seen that.
But to see man, like she has that same propensity inside of her, I think that's just so cool. Like not only from a cinema standpoint, oh my gosh, like a huge twist, like this is super cool, but I think it's awesome that she is I don't even know if I would say necessarily Force sensitive. I feel like that's diminishing it, but that she has that propensity to be a Jedi.
She's supposed to be a Jedi.
Yeah, but do you have any final thoughts on that scene?
I think that's a great scene, and I love their chemistry there too, just how they both kind of knew it, and it wasn't like super surprising when that should have been like super surprising news. They're like, yeah, it makes sense kind of. So I liked that. I really liked how they had that scene, and then Han, he's like, oh, you love Luke? She's like, yeah, I do, but not in the way you think. Just kind of messing with him still too. But yeah, I love her humor. I don't think there's anything I don't like about Princess Leia. I think she's an awesome character, and yes, my favorite movie. So this is a good one for me.
Yeah. Final question: if you made it all this way, do you think that Leia, when she goes up to Luke at the very end, do you think that she sees the Force ghosts? Let us know in the comments what you think, because she's pretty chill. You think she'd be freaking out?
I mean, I don't think she would.
You don't think she'd be like, there's these transparent blue people?
No, I mean, look at how she stood in front of Vader. Look at how she was tied up by the neck on Jabba, rolling her eyes at him. She's like a don't flinch. She's seen a lot.
She's just like, hey there.
And now you look like you have a crazy long
arm. Hey there,
We're
brother.
actually right next to each other.
Hey there, brother. Ignore the transparent people. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let us know your favorite parts of Princess Leia in Return of the Jedi. This has been super cool. Now we're going to transition to Padme in Attack of the Clones and eventually do a comparison between the two, all sorts of fun stuff. Yeah. It's going to be really cool. But with that, we are two Star Wars nerds. May the Force be with you always.